What's going on, YouTube fam? It's your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of Hood Tales, man. And tonight we're gonna take it to the District of Columbia, D.C, our nation's capital. Let's get right into it. Washington D.C, the District of Columbia, Chocolate City, home of the White House, the United States headquarters, you could say, where they make decisions that affects us all. Home of go-go music and good clubs and nightlife. But there's another side of DC, a cruddy side, with projects, hustling, bodies dropping, and every narcotic you could think of happening blocks from Capitol Hill. This was home to a man we gonna call LT that allegedly flooded the DC streets with product and bulk. See, LT is what you call a real plug. While some people hustle just to get by, some people hustle to get rich. In the 90s, LT already had his weight up and served 16 years in the feds after being caught with a lot of girls. Upon his release, LT would be back in the streets and allegedly back to where he knew best, getting money. LT would lock down the DC streets with smack, laced with fent, grass, and blickies. But this wasn't no small time operation. With alleged stash houses throughout the city, he was connected to the whole D.M.V area, making moves and getting money through all 3 states. With products so pure, sources say the fumes was enough to make a person sick. Moving like a ghost through the D.C. and surrounding areas, only dealing with weight, so anybody who had direct dealings with LT was a somebody. Homes and businesses to clean some of the bread and keeping his circle small. As the corners of DC boomed with product, LT kept the streets happy, allegedly supplying half the big duds in the city. One partner in the Virginia area who was holding down his state and area, the two would rarely meet up and never discuss business over the phone. Life was good for LT. Exotic cars, bad women, and more cash than a person even knew what to do with. As long as he stayed sucker free, he couldn't lose. He would eventually meet a man who seemed to be a big time player in the game. The two would be in the same locations, far as clubs and restaurants, but he didn't do business right away. But eventually, the two men would click. LT would let his guard down and allegedly sell the man 1,500 grams of grass and 270 grams of smack. As time went on, it was business as usual for LT, until one day, his right-hand man in Virginia would get jammed up on blicky charges and distribution of smack. By the time LT realized the situation and that the other hustler was actually an undercover federal agent, the heat was already on. The feds had been investigating LT and the other man for a minute, trying to figure out the extent of their trapping and how the operation was being ran. LT knew he had to get out of DC, and he did just that, going to Baltimore to escape the heat. But he had already served the undercover, and the damage was already done. While LT was laying low, the feds were getting search warrants and raiding all his spots, allegedly finding 40 pounds of grass, 6 blickies, fent, 88 pounds of smack, which led to the feds calling it the largest narcotic bust in the area. With his money gone, all his product and cars, including his beloved Maserati, LT knew his days was numbered. And not long after LT was caught and arrested in Baltimore. But the search would continue, and another 105 pounds of smack and pressing machines were found in another spot. LT has been through this before, and I don't know him personally, but I bet it feels just like deja vu. He received over 15 more years in the feds. After that long run in the streets, it was all over. The moral of this story, you can't do the same thing twice and expect different results. I'm sure LT regrets the decisions he made, but once you are in that court of law, there's no going back. Y'all know my saying, succeed not to fail, so you won't be just another hood tale. Yeah, man, salute to DC, you feel me? Like, shout out DC, you know what I mean? DMV. Y'all know for anybody from out of town, That's DC, Maryland, Virginia. But a lot of people in Baltimore don't really, we kind of feel like we kind of like our own little thing. And DC feel the same way. I'm sure Virginia do too. But man, dude had it. Like, you know what I mean? Free that man, you feel me? But he had it. Like, from what I read and from what I'm hearing, like, he had almost 200 pounds of smack. I ain't sure if y'all know exactly how that look or what that is, but just think of a living room and think of a whole corner in that living room just flooded. You know what I mean? Not to glorify it, you feel me? Because at the end of the day, they saying it was laced with the fent or whatever, which I don't understand. If they saying it was that pure, why even lace it? But that seemed like that's just the thing in the streets nowadays. And the bodies was dropping from people ODing, so they had to get on him. Now his partner, the dude he was dealing with in Virginia, I'm not sure how much time he got, but to be honest, it seemed like to me if they found everything they saying they found, LT actually made out. Cause that's a lot of product for just over 15 years. People get life for that. Now I'm not sure if that's 15 years on one charge, cause like I said, they came back and they found more. So I'm not sure if they trying to retry them or whatever. But yeah, man, salute to DC, man. I used to go through DC all the time, and like, it's crazy because it's so close to Baltimore, but yet so different. Like the swag different, the way we dress different, the way we talk different. Like when I was locked up in Hagerstown with the dudes from DC or the dudes from PG, it just seemed like a whole different world, you feel me? Even though it's only like an hour apart, if that. But they got their own culture, we got our own culture. And back in the days, there was a lot of beef going on, but now it seems like it's trying to come back together, but it still seems a little shaky. Like a DC dude might ask you, oh, you from Baltimore? Baltimore dude might be like, oh, you from DC? But it's really petty at the end of the day, because we really like right there. We really could be like one whole state because it's two small cities that's separated. But yeah, man, this a requested video, man. Everybody from DC been telling me, man, you gotta do a DC story, and I wasn't trying to do just a typical DC story, but y'all know I do what y'all asked me to do, man. But yeah, free LT, man. Hopefully he might be able to come home on a pill, you feel me? But that's a lot of product he had, you know what I mean? Crazy situation. But yeah, free that, man. Be sure to like, comment, share this video. If you're new to the fam, be sure to hit that notification bell and subscribe. Love, fam.